Back in the saddle again. How you doing, Danny?
Looking good, buddy. It's been a minute, eh?
It is. It has. It's been a dog year since we've done this, and I don't know. I might be a little rusty. Wednesday nights, it kind of caught me off guard. But what a show we have, and what a great reason to get back on the saddle, as they say. We're going to be joined by Eron and Jason Brock from Kayak Bass Canada. And they've got lots to discuss, lots to talk about, and of course, they're going to be giving away some trivia prizes as well. So, for all those who have joined us and are looking forward to hearing what has happened in 2025, what's going to happen in 2026, we will get to that shortly. But Dan, I have to ask you, what have you been busy doing? What's it like up in your neck of the woods right about now?
Oh, we're gonna have a normal winter. There's no doubt about that. We have snow on the ground. I've had to plow the yard a couple times already, but fortunately, we just got that this weekend, and it's definitely here to stay. I think it's -10 right about now, so it's cooled off. We got ice, and I've been busy. I'm with a family member in the hospital, and she's fine now. She's back home. She's recovering. She suffered a couple breaks, broken wrist, I say knee, but it's kind of the top of the tibia there, but. And Mary Lisa, well, she's traveling again, so she what was that hurricane? I can't remember the name that was. And Jamaica wasn't enough for her. She's off to Belize. She's currently in Toronto right now.
Was it Michelle? Was it Hurricane Michelle?
I want to say Melissa, but I could be wrong.
Melissa. Yes, it was Melissa. You're right. It was Melissa.
Yes, and I finally got my shop built. So my boat's not even put away. Like, it's in the shop, but it's still full of gear. Like, it's ready to hit the water tomorrow if I had to. So I got to get cracking on that. So, yeah, I got lots to do, but no, we're like I said, we're out of danger with everything freezing or anything like that. So we're good. And, I mean, I'm sure you're pretty much in the same boat as the rest of us. Christmas parties. I just came back from Quebec, and I got to go another one. I leave tomorrow for. So it's exciting.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, as I said, you were busy, as we talked about just before we went live. Busy during the summer when the weather's nice out. Unfortunately, we have to circle back and get all those things that we didn't get done during those wonderful weather days. We got to do it now, whether we like it or not, in the cold and the snow and everything between. But with that being said, without further ado, I know there's a lot of folks here from Kayak Bass Canada tuning in, and I'm excited to see the numbers starting to pile in. So without wasting any more time, let's bring in Eron Dodds and Jason Brock. How we doing tonight, lads?
Fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Great. Hey, Scottie. Hey, Danny. Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, It's been a minute. It's been a minute since our last one, fellas.
Yeah.
When was that? Was that in the spring that we spoke just before Chio?
I think it's before we launched the KBC season of 2025. So it must have been somewhere in March or April. It was after CanCast, I know that. Yes. But somewhere in between there. I know we hadn't started fishing yet.
Oh wow! Well, I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was. It's been a while. It's been a dog's age. So I gotta ask, and Eron, I'll probably pose the question to you before we get started. Obviously, I'll go through and cycle through the comments of those who have joined us from your club, even those who have joined us from CFN or anybody else out in the world that is joining us here tonight on the POW'er Hour. I have to ask, KBC, Kayak Bass Canada. Where did it all start? Who did it all start with, and who was around at that time when it did get started?
Great question. The origins of KBC was the winter of 2000. We started thinking about it. 2021, I reached out to a couple of our sponsors. I won't say which ones, and pitched them with the idea of doing this cross Canada online tournament. I got to give a shout out to James Macbeth. He's the marketing director for Hobie. At the time, he was Jackson Kayak, and James played an integral role in kind of guiding me and answering the questions that I had. I reached out to 3 of my very good trusted friends to help me get this ball rolling. These guys are more or less, were founders of the club. Number one was Serge Parody, who's been a coordinator and judge ever since. Casey Ryan, who's been a coordinator, and Jay Brown, who was a coordinator from the beginning. So 5 years ago, those were the three guys that really helped kick it off and get it started, along with a couple of our sponsors that said, you know what, we'll stand behind you. What do you need? And that gave us the confidence to go ahead and get the ball rolling.
That's awesome. And how many members did KBC start with?
Well, I'm going to say about maybe 10 or 15 people. It was more or less just some local guys. I think our first event had maybe 20, 25 anglers. So it started out small, and it just kind of grew from there.
Good stuff. I will say this:
the sport grew too. So
the little group that grew. Jay, when did you join KBC?
I joined I think 4 years ago as a member, and just kind of fished the odd event here and there, and then I attended about 4 years ago the CHIO, and the guys there was a need at the time during the CHIO event, and I kind of just stepped up and kind of put my name in the hat and said, I can help today. There was someone that couldn't make it. And so I stepped in, and that was my kind of baptism by fire, I guess. And then Eron wouldn't let me go. And so he's got me, lassoed to KBC and CHIO and everything else. And he's got me on the line, and I'm hooked. So it's been a fantastic ride. When you can do something that we're doing and you're passionate about it, as you guys know, we don't do this for money like you guys. There's no, we don't pay ourselves out of this. We're not getting a lot of money to do this. We're doing it out of the passion pursuit. Mm-hmm. And we do it because we love it, and we do it because we get members at the end of the season saying, well done, guys. And
that's right.
We want to leave this sport better than what we received it in. And you guys are the same way at CFN, and we share the same DNA as CFN does. And so I think this is a perfect fit for us.
Amen. Wow. Dan, we could pretty much end the show with that right there. I'll tell you. Well said.
I got to go close my wallet. So
yeah. And I will say this, Eron, at the end of the day, and we have spoken about this at great length, when it comes to earning the credibility, the trust, and respect of the industry, and it's not easy to do. It's not like you're just welcomed with open arms. Everybody is concerned. Everybody wants to see, what your shtick is. What's your angle. At the end of the day, when you come in with no preconceived notion of wanting to do this, make money, become a millionaire, whatever. If you come in with a genuine heart wanting to build community, it's amazing how quickly you can grow and how quickly you can gain the trust of your community. And Eron, I will say, you have certainly done that, my friend.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. It's been a group effort. There's a lot of people to thank. So I can't take the credit for the growth of the club. There's a lot of hands in it. There's a lot of people that pour their time and energy and heart into the club that give us that credibility as a community. And the community is the big thing. I started kayak fishing just to win. I didn't know anybody. I didn't even have social media. I went there to prove something to myself, but I stayed because of the people, the community. And it was life-changing for me. Kayak fishing has completely changed my attitude in life. And the sport's given me so much more than I've given the sport back so far. And the people that I've met, Scottie, the people that I align myself with, CFN, you guys, our sponsors, locally and over the border, it really comes down to community. That's the big thing. There's nothing I'd rather do with my free time than be a part of that community. And I think that goes for everybody in the club, I would think.
Absolutely. With that being said, of course, we have lots to talk about. Of course, we're going to be giving out some awards tonight. We've got some trivia questions that go along with it.
We do.
First and foremost, let's talk about the events. Let's talk about the events that happened in 2025. And if you can, offer some great takeaways from each of those events. I'll start with you, Eron.
Okay. Our 2025 events, we had 4 lives. We had 4 onlines. We had, for onlines, we had a largemouth challenge. which was kind of cool, something different. It was a week long. Guys are revved up to fish. So we had a 1 week largemouth challenge, which made the smallmouth guys kind of step out of their comfort zone. And that was neat to see. Guys were out fishing shallow, they're fishing top water. Then we had a month long for July, which is, you know, a busy month for us with live events. And we didn't have one in August. We kind of started a late one in August going into September for a 2 week smallmouth challenge, which was kind of cool because guys that were smallie guys got out as the summer was tapering off. And we all know, you know, smallmouth fishing is great in the fall. So it was a little different this year. We're always trying to change things up and mix it up a little bit to see what people are receptive to see what people enjoy, so that we can try to tailor the events to suit the majority of our anglers. So 2025 is a different year for us, but it's great because we learn as organizers and we grow as directors and assistant directors and try to use that to make the next season bigger and better.
Very, very cool. And then after that, Jay, what is the next event that KBC members can look forward to or look forward to in 2025?
Well, 2025 is coming to a close, but 2026, you know, we announced some of our live events for 2026, and that's on our Facebook page. But we'll again, be doing again our flagship event, which is our CHIO event, where it's a charity event where we gather, you know, at minimum 100 anglers, and we're out there. Everybody's out there to try and raise money for CHIO, which is the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, and we are very proud of that event. That event is, you know, it's a fantastic event. I know you joined it. You attended, Scottie, and you brought a drone and you videoed it for us, and that is our flagship event. But we're also doing, again, we've been asked to do the water and dirt again one more year. I think we signed on for another 3 years. They're very happy with the results. So we do a fishing derby there, which is multi-species, which is kind of outside of our element. I mean, we're bass anglers, but the water and dirt is a lot of fun, and we get a lot of our bass guys come out, and you know, we get there's perch, you know, pike, I think catfish. I mean, it's multi-species and it's a lot of fun. It's not as competitive as some of our other live events, but it's a lot of fun, and everybody launches from the beach. So it's kind of a cool event. We have our Big Bass Smackdown. We're changing that a little bit in 2026. It was a 2-day event in 2025, and we learned from that. And, you know, we had some positive results as far as the amount of anglers, but we're going to minimize it to a 2-day event and break it down to 1-day event and break it into two events within 1 day. So the first half of the day and the second half of the day, and your 2 largest bass in those 2 sessions will declare the Big Bass Smackdown winner. We also have our another great event that we love to do with our friends from Quebec, and that's Team Brother Fishing, and we call it Unity. So it's where we host. It's home and away. This year it was home. We had it on Muskrat Lake, and next year it's going to be in Quebec. And so we don't necessarily fish against the Quebec teams, but we try to partner with a Quebec team. It's a 2-man team in kayaks, and we have a 1-day event where it's your 5 biggest stringer, longest inches per fish for your 5 stringers between the 2 anglers. That gets a lot of attention. We usually have 30 to 35 teams, so 60 to 70 anglers, and our sponsors step up for that every year, and we're excited to partner with them again this year and do it in Quebec and try and bring as many KBC and Ontario anglers and non-Ontario if they're able to come as possible. So
awesome stuff. Eron, basically the year 2025 started off at CanCast, and I would typically say that is where it all begins for all of us. You know, obviously the shows, whether it be the Spring Fishing and Boat Show, Toronto Sportsman Show, it is the show season that we all sort of get back in the swing of things, and we get to reunite with one another. But CanCast is a pivotal event for you guys. You do sign up quite a few members. You are showcased at the show. Tell us a little bit about what to expect this year at CanCast.
CanCast is always an exciting event. So each year we're blessed to be able to go with one of our number one, club partners, and that's Frontenac Outfitters. So Zach Fittis from Frontenac Outfitters brings us along with them. We work in the booth, and we have a collaborated booth with Frontenac Outfitters and Kayak Bass Canada. Last year and this year, as far as I know, luckily we're always right beside you guys at CFN. So it's kind of nice because we can bump into each other and talk and hang out the whole time. So it's nice. We also get to see a lot of our top sponsors that are not just club sponsors or partners. These guys are personal friends of ours. Sheldon from Jacked Up Jigs, Wes from Wham Baits, Jeff from Limestone Lures, the whole team from Shimano, everybody from Lee to Big Jim McLaughlin, CFN. There's all these different sponsors, Big Rito Tackle, that come to CanCast, and it's kind of where we all kickstart our year together and touch base and basically get fired up for the season.
Awesome stuff. Well, Dan, I kind of ran things, and I'm not sure if you've got a pile of questions you want to ask, but I'll let you step in right about now.
Oh, these guys are doing a fantastic job.
I know, eh?
Letting them run off with this. I mean, as soon as I got a thought in my head, one of them already spitting it out. But no, they're doing great. I remember this from last time also. But
absolutely,
I know we're going to talk about 2026 and how things are gearing up in that way. But are you noticing, where are you noticing your membership growing more? Are you starting to see more in the north? Are you seeing more westerly? Where are you starting to notice things like that, or were you hoping that it grows more?
I mean,
we see a lot of our the main base of our membership is Ontario, Quebec. I mean, the bass fishing's phenomenal. It's close to home for us. We have a big following and membership here. It's starting to grow out east and west. We have some ambassadors. Shout out to Chris Arnold out east doing big things out there with his club and supporting Kayak Bass Canada. Out west, we have Dean Rudolph, who's a Navy boy, and he's promoting the club and helping us out west. So it's growing east and west. That's our main goal, is to connect anglers from east coast to west coast, straight across Canada, fish, converse with each other, and build that camaraderie. But our main membership demographics really are Ontario and Quebec.
Awesome.
That is the hub for Kayak Bass Canada.
Makes sense. I'll get back to the CHIO event because it's something that I can speak to only because I had the honor to be there. With that being said, I didn't know what to expect. I like to think that I have a pretty good idea of how the kayak industry is, and especially I don't want to say industry. I want to talk about it as a community, because I know, Eron, you right after that gentleman was caught cheating, I'm not going to mention his name because he's got enough publicity as it is. I right away spoke to you because I wanted to get your take on it. And I want to say this, and I'm not just saying it because we're doing this. I do hold the kayak community sort of on a pedestal. You guys have done it right. I love how you build community. I have not met a kayak angler other than this gentleman that decided to cheat, that's dishonest, disrespectful to the resource, or just disrespectful in general. So I have to say, hats off to the kayak community. You guys have definitely done it right. But that CHIO event, it really took me back when you saw the amount of people that were there and the buy-in. Everybody had a task, everybody had a duty, and even if you did, someone was always there to give you a hand. Right. Real tip of the hat to the KBC Nation, your community, your members, all of your sponsors, because that sponsor table was loaded, absolutely loaded with stuff. And I think it's probably a great segue for the very first trivia question that we have tonight. And I fell to my knees when I saw the number, but I'll let you ask the trivia question, the first one for tonight.
Okay, awesome. Like Scottie said, we have some trivia questions, guys. So this is going to be exciting. The way the trivia questions are going to work for tonight is we're going to ask a question. You can put your guess in the comments below. I ask that you only guess once, please, to keep it simple. So think about your answer and put your full answer in one comment, not broken into different comments. So try to answer once per question and in one comment, please, to keep it easy for us. And our first question tonight is going to be, now this is a really cool prize. So shout out to Adam Mamak at Mammoth Outdoors Apparel, because this question is for a one-of-a-kind personalized Kayak Bass Canada jersey with your name on it. Mammoth designed with Kayak Bass Canada down the arm and sent to you in your size. So really cool jersey. The question is going to be, how much money did the Kayak Bass Canada members raise in total for CHIO this year? How much did KBC's membership raise in total for CHIO this year? Answers in the comments below, guys, and we'll go through them after the video today and do a post announcing who the winners are.
You got your work cut out for you, you two, because these answers are coming fast and furious. And I'm not the least bit surprised just because of the number of people that we have watching. But yeah, good luck to all of you. It is a great question and a great result, but all it does is re-emphasize the work that you lads do and lasses, because your entire community works their buns off for these kids. And CHIO is a lot like Sick Kids. For those who aren't familiar with CHIO, it's a remarkable organization doing some remarkable things for kids that really deserve a bright day, a good day, and something to look forward to. So, hats off to CHIO, and of course you guys for getting hooked up, involved in a fantastic charity. Now, I will ask you, Jay, when it comes to the tournaments, because there is that side, there is a competitive side, as much as it's all about community and it's all about fun and this and that, there is a serious side too, which is the tournaments. And tell us a little bit about what's in store for 2026 when it comes to your tournaments.
Yeah, we have some tremendous anglers, and we like to call them hammers. And we have some tremendous anglers that respect the KBC, the integrity that we bring to the sport. And so we have some tremendous events. I mean, we talked about CHIO, that gets competitive for some others not so competitive. We've got the Water and Dirt, which is the multi-species, as I mentioned, the Big Bass Smackdown, which will be a live event. The Unity, which is again our friends from Quebec, where we work with them, but we're also in 2026, we have our online events. We will have a June Bass opener again. It'll be a challenge for 1 week. And we're going to, in 2026, go back to the July, August, September month long. I have some hot off the press news, and I can't give you much more than this, but we are going to be redoing the format of our online events. And I think every angler in KBC and those that have shied away from competing in our events will really like this news. I can't share it much more than that, but Eron and I believe this is a game changer. We've thought long and hard about how to level the playing field and protect the integrity of our month-longs. And we believe that this is going to be a game changer for us and our community. And we're really excited. I mean, it's really hard for me to tell guys right now on the spot what this is going to be. But we're going to share that in the new year as we get, we write it out more and we massage it more in our heads and converse more, Eron and I, together about how we perfect this new online event series that we're going to come up with.
Very, very cool. As we go through here, and we were going to get very close to the sponsor deck. I think it's a great question because some folks have asked me, and I've had to think about it a couple times because I wanted to get it right. But I have to ask, when you see the sponsors here, who is your longest standing sponsor?
That's a great question, Scottie. We're going to use that for one of our trivia questions.
Actually, no, you're gonna ask me the question about CFN. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, okay. All right. So, who is the longest standing sponsor of CFN? This is for a $50 gift card, compliments of Jeff Dix at Limestone Lures. So again, the question is, who is the longest standing sponsor of CFN? Comments below, and we'll announce the winner at on a post after the show tonight.
And who is your longest standing sponsor?
So that's the next trivia question, guys.
Oh, okay. I got you now. We're doing two. Gotcha.
Do you want to go ahead and throw that one out too, Scottie?
Go ahead. By all
Let's
means.
do it. So the next trivia question, this will be for a second $50 gift card from Jeff Dix at Limestone Lures in Kingston. Who is the longest standing KBC sponsor? Who is the longest standing KBC sponsor?
We're seeing lots.
Comments below, guys, and we'll have a list of all the winners. The first person to answer it correctly in a comment will be the winner of each prize.
I can't help but notice, but nobody said wife, not once.
That's hilarious.
And Eron Dodds is not the right answer for that either.
Yeah.
No.
Now,
that'll be a tough one for some guys.
Yeah. And the cool thing at CHEO, getting to know not only your community and KBC Nation, but it's really cool to see your sponsors involved in your events, like actually physically there participating in your events. Like that it's in itself is really remarkable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, Scottie. Like, we have guys like Zach Fittis from Frontenac Outfitters. James Macbeth comes from Hobie, used to be with Jackson, and competes. We have Sheldon from Jacked Up Jigs comes. Sheldon the other year was out in his boat taking pictures for us of the anglers on the water, which was really cool. Zach Fittis is always there. The other year at CHEO, he brought demo boats for guys to try who didn't have a kayak. So it's really cool when you get these sponsors coming. Mike Ajalian from Little Sucker comes down with the Little Sucker van, and he's on the ground. So even if guys aren't fishing, a lot of our sponsors come and they're there with us. At CHEO, we had Peter Larman was there, with some amazing prizes for our CHEO event. Jeff Dix. There's so many sponsors that come, and it's really cool because these guys aren't just business owners and sponsors. They're part of our community. These guys are first name basis with our anglers, shaking their hands, and they're an integral part of our community. They're not just a company that donates product.
I think it's also important to mention that it's not just the sponsors that give to CHEO. It's our own anglers and our own community of membership.
For sure.
Are out raising money.
Yeah.
And that's some of where the big bucks come from. We challenge our anglers, and we put up a challenge every year and a contest for our anglers to go out and raise as much money as they can within their own networks. And all that money goes to CHEO. It doesn't go anywhere to to any administration fees or anything like that. It goes directly to the CHEO link. And our anglers respond every year. It's unbelievable what some of our anglers can do and raise money through their community. And it's been a game changer for us to get those numbers up. I don't want to mention the number because that's part of the trivia question that we're going to give a prize away. But, we're north of $40,000 last year, what we raised for CHEO. And so, we've got corporate sponsors. We've got, lure and fishing sponsors. We've got our own community that raise money. Some of us personally donate. A lot of us personally donate. So there's a lot of different tentacles that go out to get the money. And, at the end of the day, some of us have had children. We've all had children in our lives, and to think about a sick child, it just tugs at your heartstrings, and it's not real difficult to do what we do when you have a charity like CHEO behind us. And so, we're not doing anything supernatural. It's just there's a great charity there, and we have a group of guys that are just willing to give their hearts out every year and wait for this event to pull out their wallets. So it's fantastic.
Dan, I have to say at this stage, maybe we should hire KBC and its entire nation of community anglers to gather sponsors for our North Channel Walleye Open. Holy crap, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to touch base on, like, we talk about CHEO and stuff like that. Like, I'm a patient at Toronto Sick Kids. Like, they saved my life when I was young and stuff like that. I wouldn't be here because of so. What they do in Ottawa with CHEO and stuff like that it's fantastic. So that's I'm a big supporter of all of that, and I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, thanks.
Eron, I'm going to help you with our trivia question, and I want to congratulate Steph, and I want to say your last name, Robar. I'm hoping I got that right. Ugly Boys Baits. Good for you.
That was a tough one, Scottie. I thought about it, and I wouldn't have guessed it unless you told me ahead of time.
I thought it was going to be Shimano. I told Eron in the green room that I thought it was Shimano, and he's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was the very next year that Shimano. We had the luxury of meeting Bob Mahoney, and the rest is history. But I will say, Ugly Boys was the first one to really step up, and I'll tell you, that's grassroots approach and the reaching out of these vendors. Like, I think of Limestone. I see Jeff here. They get involved because they love what you're doing. It's not necessarily to sell product. I mean, that of course is what we love to be able to return to our sponsors, but they do it because they respect and honor what you're doing. And it's just backing, a winning horse is really what they're doing. And we don't take it for granted. I know you guys don't. And you really do have to kind of remember where you started from. And, if it wasn't for Bruce and a long discussion at one of the shows, Ugly Boys Baits would never have met CFN and vice versa. So, those little small little meetings and all that networking that goes on, it goes a long, long way. But Steph, congratulations. You won a very deserving prize for getting that right. If someone wanted to join KBC, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they can find Eron or I on Facebook or Instagram, but they can also join our Facebook page. There's no cost to that. I think we have upwards of 4,000 followers on Facebook today, and they can reach out to us and send us a message and ask us how they get involved, and if they want to compete in the onlines or they want to join some of our live events. We're happy to do that. Our ambassadors are also available. We have ambassadors in each province that are there to help and assist and even do meetups. If somebody wants to meet up at a kayak shop to get rigged out with their first kayak, our ambassadors or Eron and I are happy to do that if we're local, or we can do that. And so, a big part of what we do is we try and drive, the kayak sales through Frontenac, obviously. But there's a lot of, new members that join and have never been in a kayak. So it's important for us to make sure that, they've got their PFDs, they've got the right stuff to make sure that they're safe on the water and that they're buying a kayak that fits not just their financial needs, but the safety needs of the water that they're going to be fishing. So we do a lot of talking and we use the ambassadors for that. But if they're not available, then Eron and I are happy to do that. And I think I've been involved in 6 or 7 new kayak sales this year for new anglers in the kayak scene. And I know Eron's done as many or more than I have this year. And so, it's one kayak at a time. It's one angler at a time. And, the sport is blowing up, to be quite honest. And you guys know that. It's maybe the fastest growing segment of the bass fishing industry, not just in Canada, but in North America.
I'm going to ask you, Eron, and after that great explanation, I will say this. I have to ask, do you need to own a kayak to be a part of KBC?
You don't have to have a kayak. We also accept stand-up paddle boards. I know Dan Hanratty's lady, she fishes off a stand-up paddle board, Tiffany. And you can also fish out of a canoe. You can fish tandem in a canoe if you would like. Just anglers have to both be registered, and we would trust that, they're scoring their own fish. But a canoe, stand-up paddleboard, any of those watercrafts are acceptable. We have anglers that use different ones. I'd like to touch base about our ambassadors. That we also have one of our Cracker Jack ambassadors, and I can't say enough good about this guy, Remy Kerouac, part of Team Brothers Fishing in Quebec, the biggest fishing club in Quebec. Remy's bilingual, so he's a great guy if you're a French speaking Canadian who is uncomfortable speaking French or English and doesn't speak the best English. Remy's fluent, so having him as an ambassador really helps. I know our past ambassadors, Anthony DeLuca, and guys like that can speak French. Serge Parody. It makes a big difference having these guys as ambassadors that can not only guide these new anglers, but it takes some of the pressure off Jason and I when we have a flood of questions coming in and new people that want to try the sport. So I got to give a shout out to our ambassadors. But yeah, you can fish out of a canoe, Scottie, as long as it's not a blow up dinghy or something like that. It's okay. We try to keep it kind of open to make it easy for people to get from the bank into a watercraft that suits them, or guys that are downsizing from a motorboat, that just want to get out and fish occasionally or get into some back lakes. So we try to keep it open.
I'm seeing a lot in the comments in regards to how you've helped others pick out the proper kayak for them. In some cases, you've driven hours to help those do that. If you were looking at Dan, if you were looking at me, is there a kayak that you would suggest for Dan and maybe something like a battleship for me?
Yeah, I would tell you guys right away, never mind what Jason Brock says. Jackson Kayak, never mind Bonafide. No, I'm just kidding. Jason represents Bonafide. I'm blessed enough to be on Team Jackson. What I like about working with Frontenac Outfitters, and Jason's fell into this role perfectly. It's not always about the brand that we're lucky enough to represent and be on a team with. It's about finding the right boat for that angler. Every kayak company, every major kayak company makes a boat that can suit you more or less. I know Jackson Kayak's inside out, but if a guy's not interested in a Jackson Kayak, there's a lot of other boats at Frontenac that will suit their needs as well and their preferences. It's about getting the guy or gal in that boat that they love and that they're comfortable with, that they're going to look back in 5 years, and this isn't talked about much publicly, but in 5 or 10 years, regardless of what team one of us might represent, that angler's always going to remember the integrity and honesty and courtesy that we gave them getting into a boat that they love, that they want to be in on their days off on the weekend. So on the Jackson side of things, I would say, my Coosa X, it's a heavy boat. It's over 100 pounds. There's big boys, 400-pound boys that are fishing out of those. My Jackson Kayak NAR, for instance, equivalent of like a Hobie PA or other boats like that. It's a big water boat. It's an ocean boat. You can fish, Panama for rooster fish in that kayak. So there's a lot of big boys fishing in big water boats. They're not the best for little back lake trips, but some of these boats, they're ocean boats. They're offshore boats. The kayak fishing world has expanded so much that, you throw a 3 horsepower motor. Jason prefers spot lock up front. I like the 3 horsepower propulsion behind me. On these big water boats, and you can cover 10K, no problem, on one battery charge, and, ride through power boats wakes effortlessly. So it just depends on what kind of kayak you want. But for you, Scottie, being a well-fed and muscular gentleman like myself.
Yeah.
I hear you guys laughing. I would say, a NAR pedal drive, or if you want to paddle, a Kusa X. Jason can talk more
I
about
think we should
Bonafide,
stop.
and
I
there's
think we
lots
should
of other
stop
brands
talking
out there.
about Jackson kayaks right now. He just had a minute and 32 seconds, and that's enough.
So with this GQ model of the year, Danny Bacon, with his trim figure and his good lines and whatever, what would you recommend for Danny, Jay?
It really depends on the ball. I think there's two things. I mean, it's what you can afford, the budget.
Yeah.
And do you want to paddle? Do you want to pedal? Or do you want to motorize?
Mm-hmm.
And are you on a big body of water? Or are you gonna pond hop? Or are you gonna hit the back lakes? So, and it depends how you're going to transport it as well. So those are all the questions I would ask a brand new angler that's going to get into the kayak scene is, what bodies of water and what species do you want to target and how do you want to transport your vessel? And so, knowing Danny, he's a walleye guy.
I would own 4 kayaks. I'll tell you right now. Just based on the water you talked about, I'm multi-species, but yeah, I'm laughing.
So honestly, I've gone from paddle to pedal to motorize, and I don't think I'll ever go back. And there's nothing wrong with pedal propulsion, but being on the St. Lawrence River, I need motorized, and I need something that's going to spot lock me in the current when I find that hole, because you got to chase these things, these big 7-pounders. And when you're chasing them and you find the hole that they're in, you got a spot lock on them. And you could sit there for an hour and you can really hammer them for a good hour, but it takes a while to find them. And you need that. Your legs are going to get tired. Your arms are going to get tired, and the wind and the current is going to blow you around. So being on the bottom of Wadi that I am, I need a big kayak. And that's why I have the PWR 129 with a bow mount motor guide motor, and I can run that motor for 2 days, 8-hour days, and not have a problem. So it really depends. And my buddy Jay Brown, who's a teammate of mine, and the first inaugural teammate of Bonafide in Canada, he likes having a RVR, which is more of a river boat, has no pedal, just paddle, and that's one he can just throw on the top of his car whenever he wants and go find a small pond or a back lake, and within minutes he's on that lake, and he's on a lake that no one else has ever been on. So it really depends on what you want to do. And I think what we find in our community is, you get guys that want the big kayak that can go in the big water, and then you've got the guys that, you end up buying 2 kayaks. And you have one kayak for certain situations and another kayak for others. And then you can move all the gear. Frontenac Outfitters sells all the Yak Attack stuff that you can take your rod holders, you can take your black pack, you can take your rods and reels, and you can take your electronics very easily and unplug it and just easily put it onto another vessel. So,
awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Danny, before we get into the awards, do you have any questions that you wanted to pose to either Eron or Jay?
Not really, but I definitely, you can hear them talking. You understand, I'm a tournament angler, so you have the same conversations. Bigger is always better. You're spending a lot of time on the water. You're not always in favorable conditions, so you people tend to forget all that. And I think, especially for the kayak world, and when you said someone's on paddle boards, you always envision people. It's a nice sunny day out and they're out just having a good time. They're not spending 10, 12 hours out there, and so you're learning more and more that people are adapting to that and they're changing their techniques and that. And I wasn't asked, but you guys had already answered the questions about motors, and I'm kind of glad to see that. I see a lot of kayak series or events not allowing that. They're keeping it more of a traditional side of things, where I see you guys are pretty open and let's just go have fun. It's more about the platform than the propulsion, I guess, right?
Amen. Eron, I will talk to you, or I'll ask you this question before we get to the awards. Like every other fishing community, industry, tournament series, everybody's talking about forward-facing sonar. Has forward-facing sonar made positive, negative, or neutral results in the kayak world?
That's a tough question. I'm going to answer it quickly and then let Jason answer this question as well because he actually uses forward-facing sonar. I don't. I love fishing little back lakes out of shallow, throw and go kayak, no motor, minimal stuff. So I fish, Jason fishes the St. Lawrence a lot. I fish a lot of lakes that are like 15 feet deep in the middle of the lake. And they're back in the back trails and woods and stuff. So I don't really use forward facing sonar. I fished an event with Jason and it was a tough go that day. He could see them. He could see me cast. He could see the fish. Getting them to bite was another story. So, I mean, yes, I think it helps you, locate and target fish. But at the end of the day, you still have to get them to bite. I'm kind of old school. I like my shallow fishing. And I think it's all fair in tournament fishing. I mean, if guys want to use it, it's the same with electric. I mean, if guys want, I've seen guys outfish guys that have forward facing sonar. So it's definitely debatable. I'll leave it at that.
Jay, you want to add?
Yeah, I think Eron hit it on the head. I mean, you still got to put the right bait in front of them at the right time and the right temperatures and the right depth and the right body of water. And I've thrown so many different lures that fish with forward facing. It's my second season with it, and they won't touch it. And then there's days where they can't resist it. And I think that's the same whether you had it or not, you had forward facing or not. I think it's understanding the temperatures, understanding the surrounding, doing, a big part of kayak fishing that it's not like being in a bass boat where you don't have to do a lot of research in advance of hitting that body of water. You only have so much, pedal power or paddling power or motor battery power to motorize. You have to plan out your event. A lot of what kayak fishing is about is before you even hit the water. You need to map out your day, what shoals you're going to hit, what weed beds you're going to hit, how you're going to hit them before you run out of power or before you run out of anything. And so a big part of it is not so much the forward facing, it's planning your day in advance. The forward facing is it's here to stay. It's here to stay in the kayak world as well. And it what it is teaching me a little bit is fish behavior more than anything else. I'm learning a lot more about bass and how it's as simple as them coming out of weed beds, how they back themselves into a weed bed and how they look at bait coming out of the weeds. I can see that in forward facing, and that's something that I never had the privilege or the opportunity to see. And I'm seeing that now in forward facing, and I'm learning a lot of fish behavior through forward facing. Guys can talk about the competitive side of it, but to me, I think, in our sport where it's catch, photo, release, a lot of our guys do not harvest. So I don't see forward facing as an issue in our sport.
Dan, very refreshing to hear this, eh?
I love forward. You know me, I'm a big
advocate. I know.
I've been fishing for years. I've got multiple on my boat. I do want to mention something real quickly before. So one of the new things that I've been noticing for about a year now, and someone else actually pointed it out to me now that he's mentioned, I've noticed it all stop, is that the fish have learned the sonar ping coming from live. They'll actually stop dead in their tracks, and they know something's not right. So we're starting to see guys now. I've done it myself, where we're finding that fish with casting, we're actually turning the sonar away and going back blind for it. We really see that in ice fishing to the point like we're ice fishing. I don't use it very much, but it was something that's pretty neat to watch. And you can actually see a walleye sit there for 30 minutes, not move an inch. And you move the sonar to scan and come back, and he's 15 feet closer to you all of a sudden. So they learn, they feel that their lateral lines, they hear that noise, and they're used to all that pinging. But yeah, so I'm a big advocate for it. I mean, I agree it's here to stay. I think everything's going to get used to it, and even the fish are going to adapt to that. It's a new noise, and they're going to recognize that.
I totally agree. I mean, if you hear the elite guys talking about the St. Lawrence River and Lake Ontario, they're saying that the fish are getting smarter in these areas because there's so many tournaments that are fished on the St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario. I saw Scottie at CISA which was a fantastic event, by the way. And you did a great job, Scottie. You were fantastic in front of the camera, and it was nice to chat. And thank you for giving me an hour to chat afterwards. It was great catching up with you. But these elite guys and these pro anglers and the amount of events that happen on those bodies of water, the fish are so pressured. And I fish that body of water all summer long in my kayak. And you're right, Danny. Like they know when you're getting close to them, and it gets tougher and tougher. So
we practice catch and release in the walleye world as well. They don't think they don't remember that didn't end well last time I went after that when I heard that noise. So that it starts to sink in. We get big fish. They're old fish. They're probably a walleye out here is probably 25, 30 years old. Some of these fish. So they've been around.
A lot smarter than us, that's for sure.
Yeah. And the camera is very graceful to Scottie. It always makes him look good. So.
But my fish never look big. That's I got to do something about that. But that's on me.
There's a lot of doubles of Scottie. I told Scottie in the green room that I had seen someone in one of the airport lounges, and I hugged him in the airport lounge, and it turned out not to be Scottie. So this guy was not too happy when I said, "Hey, Scottie, how's it going?" And I gave him a big hug. He's like, "Who are you?"
Wow, that's too funny. Well, you know what? It's probably one of the big reasons we're here tonight is to discuss some of the hardware that we're giving away for what has been an incredible year for 2025 and Kayak Bass Canada. Before we do start giving out some of the awards, I'll start with you just because you're here, Jay. Give me one great takeaway from the year that just it's a memory that you will never forget.
Well, it's more of a personal memory than anything else. I had a good buddy, a friend of mine that I used to live in Milton, Ontario, which is on the west side of Toronto. And a good friend of mine, we used to work out a little bit together at a local gym in Milton, and he had continued to follow me after I moved to Kingston. And he was an outdoorsman, and he has two young sons, and his name's Kevin. And he reached out to me, said, "Hey, I want to get into this kayak thing. This looks pretty cool." And he'd been following me for a couple of years, seeing my posts and all my propaganda. And sure enough, I got him into a kayak, and he got totally addicted. And he's got forward-facing sonar now. He went and bought a tinner, and I was able to go out with his two young sons, and I was able to help them fish locally here in Kingston. And to pay it forward that way and bring someone into the community of kayak, but then have two young anglers like his sons to teach them how to fish and get them on some fish and have them excited about fishing. It's, you start them young, and these guys are going to be anglers for the rest of their lives. And that to me means more than, anything else that I could achieve in this sport, whether I win a tournament or finish top 10 in a major national event. I don't care about that. What I care about is these young kids enjoying and catching fish and being able to mentor them a little bit and get them started.
That's awesome. Eron, I'll let you answer that question yourself. Great takeaway, great memory from 2025 that you will take to your grave.
It's always going to be Chio, Scottie. I mean, that event takes the most planning, legwork, conversing and working with sponsors and other anglers. And it brings out the best in certain guys in our community. I gotta, this year I got to give a special shout out to Tim Sexton, Marco D'Ambrosi, Jeff Dix, Serge Parody, Rick
Neil
Dory, Neil Marlowe, Jason Brock, of course. These are Mandy Downard, one of our ambassadors. These are people that don't just come to the event and show up. They come with their sleeves rolled up. They're here, they're unloading, they're packing up, they're tearing down. They don't leave. Like that kind of community is what's special to me. So every single year, it's always that event. It's just, I see the best in all these people. So to me, that's the best memory that I get.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Well, here it is. We are in the last few minutes of this incredible segment. And again, I want to thank you, Jay and Eron, for joining Danny and I for what has been a fantastic episode. But before we go, we have some hardware and some awards to hand out from what has been an incredible 2025. And first and foremost, Eron, do you want to make the announcement or would you like me to?
I'll let you decide the order of which awards we're going to do, and then we'll pass it to Jason Brock.
Okay. So biggest bass, and this is going to be something, I'll tell you. Wow, what a beast this is. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, our community of anglers know who this person is. This is, back-to-back years where he's won this, and this is Chris Widowiak. And this smallmouth bass was 22.25 inches long. Chris is a fantastic angler. He's fantastic online, but he's also a very successful live event kayak angler. And Chris, we couldn't be more proud to have you in the club, and congratulations on Big Bass. You are going to win a Yashimoto custom lure, and I'm going to throw it over to Eron, and he's going to explain a little bit more. I am a huge fan of Yashimoto. I collect his lures. I have a lot of them. So go ahead, Eron. Talk about that.
So the Hashimoto custom is compliments of Brent Hashimoto, good friend of ours. It's going to be a custom lure selected from a couple different lures offered by Brent, and he's going to paint the lure that you choose to your specifications, whether you want a pattern, a little bit of a mural idea. I won't say the sky's the limit, but the sky's the limit with Brent. This guy's amazing. You're going to get to pick what your handcrafted Hashimoto concept, one of a kind, is going to be, and Brent's going to make it happen. So, Chris, reach out to me. I'll connect you with Brent, and this is a very special prize. So, I don't know if I'd want to throw it because it's going to be an absolute beautiful work of art from Hashimoto Concepts.
Well, very cool. And yes, congratulations, Chris, on what has been. And I love Jeff's comment about someone call the NFL. They want their football back. That's brilliant.
That's a CFL football.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not the flake gate. That thing was blown up.
Yeah. Now, following the announcement of this award, I do believe we have a trivia question, do we not, Eron?
We do. Our next trivia question is going to be, the prize is going to be a kayak custom decal package, compliments of Crooked Hooks Fishing. So what this is our good friend at Crooked Hooks, Alan, is going to offer you two 12-inch name banners for your boat and up to two 12-inch custom decals of your own design to pimp your ride the way that you want it when you're on the water. So the question is going to be, who won our 2025 June Bass Opener Largemouth Challenge? Answer in the comments. Who won our June Bass Opener Largemouth Challenge for a Crooked Hooks Fishing kayak decal package? Thank you, Alan Crooks.
Well done. Well done. Right on. All right. The next award that we're going to be getting to, Jason, I'll let you announce who the winner is. This is near and dear to my heart because I truly love, when folks help others, they respect others, and they go above and beyond to help others. And I would have to say the person that wins this sportsmanship award has done all of that and some in between.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Scottie. I mean, you nailed it on the head there. This individual, is always liking posts, is always reposting, is helping grow the club. If we have a need at a live event, this person is there to help and take notes if we have to, take pictures, video, whatever we need, tear down, set up. This person has been fantastic. And I was lucky enough a couple of years ago when he lived in my community where we were able to fish together and get to know him a little bit better. And I couldn't be more proud and more happy to announce that Neil Marlowe has won our most sportsmanlike award for 2025. and he will win a power box by Lake Simcoe. And Eron, do you want to talk a little bit more about that prize or show it? I can't see if you've shown it or not, but
Yeah, this is a really cool prize. Compliments of Lake Simcoe Power Box. So this is the Outdoor Adventure Power Box. My good friend Enzo has donated this. So it's a power box. Inside is a 9 amp, 12.8 volt Linac lithium battery. This thing will power whatever you need. Whether you're kayak fishing or you're at the boat launch, you're camping. There's a lot of uses for the Outdoor Adventure Power Box. A lithium ion charger. It comes with a plethora of extras and add-ons, a USB light bulb if you want to ice fish, and a really cool USB glow cup for ice fishing to recharge your lures. So shout out to Lake Simcoe Power Box, Outdoor Adventure Power Box. Our friend Enzo, this is going to be a really cool package for Neil, and I know he'll put it to good use.
And
right on.
Before we move on, we have a runner-up.
We do.
We had a last minute from one of our fantastic national sponsors. Wham Baits called us and said they'd like to give something special tonight for the show, and so we have a $25 gift card. Neil did a fantastic job, but we had so many people that were promoting the club and growing the club, and maybe not necessarily ambassadors, but in their own right, they were their own ambassador. And the runner-up of the $25 gift card from Wham Baits, whether it can be redeemed at CanCast or can be redeemed on Wham Baits' website, goes to Melanie Fox. Melanie, thank you for all you did this year. Thank you for all the likes, all the comments, and I thank you for encouraging women in our sport as well.
Absolutely.
You and Mandy Downard do a fantastic job for the club and bringing other female anglers to the club, and we thank you for that. So a runner-up goes to Mel Fox. Thank you.
Right.
Congratulations, Mel.
Now, I do believe, Eron, you have yet another trivia question on top of that.
Absolutely, we do. This is going to be for a $100 USD gift card to be used on their website only. From our good friends at Yak Attack. Yak Attack is not just a sponsor, they're a club partner. A lot of our success has come from the support that Yak Attack gives us, and they're by far one of our top partners. So shout out to Yak Attack, $100 USD gift card. Here comes the question, guys. Name 2 national KBC sponsors that joined us in 2025.
Oof.
2 KBC national sponsors that just joined us this year for 2025. Put your answers below. We'll announce the winner tonight.
Can I give them a hint, Eron? All right. Now we're getting into the big hardware. This is where, the boys and the girls sort of rise to the top. The cream rises to the top. And Angler of the Year is something that any angler that's involved in tournament or any kind of competitive angling looks forward to and is trying to strive for. And I will let you, Jay, take it from there.
Yeah, we're going to start with the runner-up. I can't even tell you how many 20-inch bass were judged this year. There was a lot. There were a lot of 100-inch bags this year in all of our onlines. Our anglers are just getting better and better, and we're getting we just have a fantastic roster of anglers. And so this gentleman is our runner-up. He will get a $100 USD gift card from Yak Attack that can be redeemed on the website. And runner-up goes to Rob Baginski. Congratulations, Rob. You had a fantastic year with KBC, and we're very honored and proud to have you as part of our club.
Awesome stuff. And I will say, being the runner-up, and Dan, you've been in this situation before, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Is it still satisfying to be the runner-up, Dan, as a competitive angler?
Yeah, absolutely. Any part of it is exciting. You get in the top 10 of anything, you're stoked about it. And
100%.
Yeah, it's just being involved with it all. When you get in that competitive mode, especially like if you have a multi-day event and you're in a good standing on day one, you're pumped for that. If you made a big run on day two, you're pumped for that. So there's so many venues do that, and we've seen that all. And
Amen.
you know, I love being a part of it. I love seeing people a part of it, and I hate being beat though. I really do.
That's the competitive side right there. So congratulations again, Rob, for being the runner-up angler of the year. Truly something that you should be proud of and admire. I know we do. And I know right now, I believe we have yet another trivia question. Do we not, Eron?
Yeah, we do. This is our last trivia question for the night. This one's for an awesome prize. It's going to be our second custom KBC Mammoth jersey. So it's going to be a design by Mammoth. It's going to have Kayak Bass Canada down the arm, and it's going to have the angler's name on the back. So this is a personalized custom jersey. Compliments of Adam Mamak, my man at Mammoth Outdoors Apparel. And the question is, name the month and the year of KBC's first inaugural online tournament. Name the month and the year of Kayak Bass Canada's very first inaugural online tournament. Comment below. We'll announce the winners tonight.
Wow. Boom. All right. Some great prizes, some tough questions. And I love all of the feedback and responses that you're getting from your community. My Lord, Eron and Jay, you have your work cut out for you. There is a lot of comments tonight. So I don't envy you that. You're going to be up most of the night trying to figure out who your winners are. And this is it. This is the gusto. This is for everything that matters. Angler of the Year. It is something that is not easily won. Few are picked. Not, only one is chosen. And I'll let you take it from there, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't any surprise to anybody who's part of the KBC Nation. I mean, this gentleman puts up 105, 106 inches every month, or any event that we put on where there's a smallmouth challenge. And I've had the opportunity to fish with him. I see him at different trails, and this guy is a hammer. He is maybe one of the best anglers that we have in our nation that people don't necessarily know about because of his humility. This gentleman is a class act, and I'm happy to call him a friend. And oftentimes when you get the biggest bass, you win Angler of the Year. And we've mentioned his name earlier, and I am really proud and honored to say that Chris Wadowiak is a back-to-back champion at KBC for Angler of the Year. He will win a $100 USD gift card from Yak Attack, and it can be redeemed on their website. So congratulations, Chris. Thank you for your participation in our events. We look forward to seeing what you do under our new format when we do release our new format in 2026. So way to go, buddy. Proud of you.
Interesting stuff. Right on. Well, I will say this: we've gone a little bit over our hour that we usually have these episodes set for, but I will say I'd like to go on for another hour just because there's great stuff that's being discussed here, and of course the community that's backing you and supporting you in the background with all the comments, all the great feedback, some great stories that they're telling of the two of you, and you go over and above when it comes to helping folks, supporting folks, letting them, helping them choose their kayak, baits, where to fish, what to use. It's amazing. It's amazing to hear. And I will say this just on behalf of myself, it is an honor having KBC a part of CFN and CFN a part of KBC. We look forward to what 26 will bring when it comes to both of us. And with that, I want to say thanks so much for joining us, taking the time. And of course, everybody from KBC, thank you for spending the hour with us. Dan?
I'm going to regurgitate what Scottie just said. There's really no better way to say that. And everybody, with all your comments, everybody signed in, and your group is fantastic, and keep it up.
You two get the last word. Go.
I'll start, Eron. You finish it. I just want to, KBC is nothing without its anglers. So I want to thank our community. I also am super stoked and really happy with the partnership that we have with CFN. I think there's a lot more that we can do, and I really look forward to 2026 and years beyond that to, to see how we can, perfect our alliance. And we're very grateful. And I wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season, and all the best to everybody in 2026, and to you two gentlemen, Danny and Scottie. All the best to you and your families, and I look forward to the next time we can do this again. This is a blast. So thank you.
That's awesome. You get the last word, Eron.
In closing, guys, I'd just like to thank, first of all, our ambassadors for 2025 and before. Chris Arnold out east, Dean Rudolph out west, Mandy Downard in Ontario, Remy Kerouac, Anthony DeLuca, Andrew Ferguson, everybody else who throws in their hand to help out every single year. We're going to announce our new ambassadors, the team for next year over the winter, along with the format. I do have one more thing. I'd like to send a very special, heartfelt thank you to one of our OG coordinators and lead judges, Serge Parody, who will be retiring this year from his duties at KBC. Serge has put in 5 hard years of judging thousands upon thousands of fish every night in front of the screen. It's time for Serge to enjoy some fishing as he's in his golden years. So you're going to see him at the tournaments on the water. There will be a changing of the guard for judging next year, but we'd really like to thank Serge for all the time and effort he's put in to KBC over the years. So ambassadors, Serge Parody, thank you guys for all you do. CFN, thank you for your partnership and all you guys do across the nation, supporting us, fishing, promoting fishing in Canada. We couldn't be more proud to be aligned with you guys and partnered with you guys. So Merry Christmas, everyone, and thank you for supporting Kayak Bass Canada, CFN, and fishing in Canada.
That's awesome. And with that, Dan, I wish you a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a bona fide and wonderful New Year in 2026. Looking forward to spending a little bit of time with you, and of course, getting back to our NCAA this coming September. With that, I think it's best you got something you want to say too, Dan?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm gonna thank you guys all over again. We're gonna start this whole tournament. I'm gonna stop it right here.
Right.
See you guys at CanCast.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, to Steph and of course our first and longest standing sponsor, I want to thank Bruce for helped me put this video together. But I think it's apropos for the time of season. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and of course a prosperous New Year. With that, thanks very much for joining us. We will see you next time. Peace.
So from all of us at OFC Nation, Cat Macintosh, POW Castings, Ugly Boys Baits, Horwood Lake Lodge, and of course our beloved CFN, wishing all of you the happiest of holidays. And from my family to yours, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and healthy and prosperous New Year.